What is up, and welcome back to 24 Minutes of A24, the podcast that takes a look at the A24 library 24 minutes at a time. I am Ethan Simi.
And I'm Ben Lawhorn. This week, we're saying goodbye, and we are also giving our top 10 A24 films of all time.
An exercise that's never been done on this podcast before. Celebration of life, really, for this podcast and all of the great movies that A24 has put out, despite them trying to prove us wrong in 2025 with all of their releases as of late. Releases that you and I starkly disagreed on our last episode, which was Bring Her Back. And, you know, I got to be honest, a lot of the people out there saying, I just don't get it, and they're siding with you. And I'm happy for you for that, you know?
Yeah, I guess there's just enough of us sickos out there that are on board with chewing on a knife or something like that. But yeah, it's always good to have differing opinions, I think.
You real psychopaths out there. You mentioned it. This is the end. This is us saying goodbye to 24 minutes of A24. I know that we took a little bit of a hiatus recently as well, and we've been a little bit more sporadic with episode drops and releases. This just kind of felt like the right decision at the right time for this podcast. This is episode 179. So we've done 178 other episodes of this show. We've talked about a lot of A24 movies, and, you know, frankly, both you and I have another podcast, the Movie Draft Podcast. I'd be substantially surprised if listeners of this have not checked out that show. But it just felt like the right time to kind of close the chapter on this podcast in particular. How are you feeling about that? Because I mean, I'm sad. You know, this is our pod. This is our pod baby here.
Yeah, like my instinct is to say bittersweet, but I don't know if there's anything sweet about it. Like it's sad. It's a bummer to see it go. It's been fun to go over these A24 projects together and talk about them. One of which is not The Materialist, because we just we didn't cover it, but it was fine. Wrong cast. It was fine.
You've seen it. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Interesting cast comment, but yes, we proceed.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm bummed to see it go, but it'll be good to spend some more time on the Movie Draft Pod. And there's a little rumor floating around that possibly another pod of mine, Unsung Gems, might be resurfacing, might be surfacing for the first time. So we'll see about that.
That's super exciting. Yeah, you know, we're pod guys. We podcast. That's what we do. So love to pod. And we thought no better way to celebrate our love for podding and our love for A24 than by listing our top 10 A24 movies. An exercise that we have never done before here in the show that I was like remarkably startled that we had never done this. I went through our episode list. I went through our Google Sheets calendar. I went through our Spotify for podcasters. Like, I could not find an episode where we did our top 10 A24, and I could have sworn we've already done this.
I mean, I had the same thought. I was just like, well, I don't want to repeat the same 10, so I'm going to try to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, to learn that we've never done this before, I was like, well, great. This is a great way to go out. Like, you know, as of right now, 2025, these are my top 10 A24 films.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a really fun, what will be a really fun exercise to do our top 10 A24 films. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the exercise for a minute, because this is, of course, a little bit different of a pod than we have ever done before. We are not going to be doing True Cinema. There was some housekeeping that I thought would be fun to talk about, but honestly, we're going to skip it. We're just going to move straight forth to our exercise here, because I think this is going to be interesting. How should we do this? Because my Letterboxd list is public. People can see this. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you can see my A24 ranked Letterboxd. 119 A24 films are on that list. And you can see number 67 if you want, which is when you finish saving the world. You can also see other numbers on this list. We're doing the top 10 today. You, I know, texted me and you were like, I started working on this exercise and I got 30 movies. I don't have 10. How are you approaching this?
With just pure chaos, I think. I don't know. Basically, I cut it in half, so I'm down to 15.
Okay.
And I think I have like what I'll consider my 5 honorable mentions. So I think I have my list of 10. I am curious what kind of crossover we'll have.
Interesting,
I feel like there's maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I'm very curious. I didn't look at your list. I forgot you had the public list, and I wouldn't have looked at it anyway because I didn't want to be influenced by it. But I've got my 10 that are like my favorite A24s. Maybe not the best, but my favorites.
Your favorites. Okay, yeah. I think a very important distinction in this day and age between favorites and best, for sure. I am of a similar mindset. So I was looking at my list and I was like, ooh, I actually am going to like swap something out of this top 10 right before we started recording. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it live. Like, let's just do this exercise together. That's the point of this podcast, of course. So I am looking. You mentioned you have 5 honorable mentions. Do you mind if we start this episode off with things that are definitely not in the top 10 or 15?
Okay.
But things that maybe you want to take this platform to talk about for a minute or briefly mention. I'll give you an example. For me, I have, wow, we have to go through the list here. We're going to have to do this. I have at number 40, and this will come as no surprise to you or any listeners that I want to talk about this. I want to bring this up because this is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And unfortunately, the pod is now over and I will not get the chance to re-bow Is Afraid in preparation for Ari Aster's Eddington, a movie that we will not be talking about here specifically, but we will. Listeners of this show will give you a little tease. We are going to be doing an Ari Aster type draft over on the Movie Draft Podcast. Yes. So we will find space to talk about Eddington over there. At 40, I have Beau is Afraid. This was the number 1 movie I wanted to revisit in preparation for this list, for this episode. I did not have time. I ran out of time. Truth be told, I am writing a retrospective piece for the Rolling Tape about Inception, Christopher Nolan's 15-year-old movie now at this point in time. So I've been watching scenes and parts of Inception and trying to kind of culminate that article. And Beau is Afraid is also like almost 3 hours long. So it's at 40 right now. If I had revisited it, maybe not top 10, but maybe in the honorable mention conversation. I don't know if that's all made up in my head or not, but something I wanted to do. Is there anything like that for you where you're like looking at your list where you're like, man, I feel like maybe I wanted to give this another shot. Maybe this is a little lower than I want it. Anything like that?
There was definitely some that are in that 16 to 30 range for me. Where like, for me, I would say one of the most 8th grade. What I thought about revisiting, because I really love, Bob Burnham's film. I think it's a great movie. And I was like, is this in my top 10? I don't know for sure. Because I instinctually, if anyone brought it up, I'd be like, oh, I love that movie. Great movie. You got to check it out. But I was like, are there 10 other movies that I like more than that from A24? And I just wasn't sure, and, similar vein is Lady Bird, where I'm just like,
sure,
it's a fantastic movie, but like, I just don't know that it's in my top 10, but
right. One more movie that I've really had the urge to rewatch recently, and I can pull up the receipts on this because this is something I've tweeted about in the last several months. I've really wanted to revisit Under the Silver Lake, the Andrew Garfield, Riley Keough, I guess psychological thriller after hours-esque type film. We did an episode on Under the Silver. I'm positive because I remember that's why I watched that movie. I don't remember what my rating was. I have it at 31 on my list right now. And I'm thinking like, man, if I revisit that, that might be a bump. I don't know though.
Yeah. There's just so many of these. Again, that's why my immediate short list was 30 films. I'm just like, I don't know. Like any of these I could make an argument for any of these.
Let me ask you quickly about some movies that are more recent that we didn't cover here on the show. So I don't really know your opinion of if you've seen them.
Yeah.
And if you have, where they might fall on your list. So Queer. Did you end up visiting Queer? And if so, can you give us some insight?
I have not watched Queer yet. No.
I'd be really interested to see your take on Queer. 25 on my list right now.
Okay.
Baby Girl. Did you watch Baby Girl?
No, I've missed a few of these recent releases, unfortunately.
Okay. 23 on my list right now. Civil War, we know where you stand on Civil War. We don't need to rehash that. I guess it's kind of Friendship. We did an episode on Friendship.
Love Friendship.
Great movie. Love Friendship. I'm trying to look back through here and see if there's really anything else that we didn't really get the chance to talk about. But I feel like we can dive into our list now. No?
I mean, we can. I'm literally changing it as we're talking. So like
Sure.
At some point we just got to lock in, I guess.
Yeah. Look, I'm in the same boat. Who wants to go first? Do you want to start? Because you said you're still changing it. I want to take this opportunity to do more monologuing, of course, as podcasters do. I'm feeling conflicted about my number 10. So I kind of want to work through that process together. Do you want to do that first? Do you want to reveal your 10 first?
I mean, I say go for it because I'm not sure what mine is. So let's work through it together.
Either.
Let's work through it together.
Okay, let's work through it together. So,
do we want to go through honorable mentions? Would that help? Would that
I think that would help. Yeah.
I think if I say it as an honorable mention, then, or do we save it for the end? I really don't know. I don't know what to do. Because also I don't want to show my cards too early. Like if I say something, you might be like, what? That's not going to be in your 10? Like, yeah, I don't know.
No, you know what? Honestly, I think it's kind of fun to do honorable mentions first because then it provides this sense of panic where I already know 5 movies that are outside of your 10 where it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe those are not in the 10 or, vice versa of like, wow, those are really high on your list. I think that'd be fun. Let's do that. Let's do 15 through 11. That will also help me determine what my 10 should be.
Okay.
Let's go back and forth.
Let's do it.
Okay, so
basically it's gonna be our top 15 A24 movies. This is what we're doing right now, which is great.
I'm not changing the title of the pod. I'm keeping it top 10 A24 movies.
These are just honorable mentions. We're not gonna spend a lot of time on them, but
strictly honorable mentions. No in depth here with these 5
list. Yeah.
Listeners and watchers of the pod will be treated to a surprise and delight and get 15 instead of 10. Do you want to go first with your 15?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay.
This was one of the first movies that I remember being an A24 movie that I watched.
Okay.
As I say this, I'm surprised it's not on my list, but my number 15 is going to be Alex Garland's Ex Machina.
Oh, fascinating. Interesting. Okay. So let me ask you this logistical question because we put very minimal prep work into this episode because we thought it's, kind of a vibes episode and it's kind of us just having one last hurrah here. So what happens when we share something? Do we use that opportunity? I can't remember. I don't remember what The Big Picture does. I don't remember what some other movie podcasts do. Do we use that opportunity to talk about it in tandem? Because I have Ex Machina. It's only a couple away. Or should I save my take?
I think if it's in your honorable mentions, bring it up right now. But if it's in your 10, let's just wait and bring it up in the 10.
Got it.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Okay, so in that vein, Ex Machina is 13 for me.
Okay.
Now, this is the real struggle. I'm trying to determine if I want Ex Machina to be my 10. Because of pretty much the reason you mentioned. This is the, I guess, not so candid A24, pitch your tent here kind of a situation where this is a movie a lot of people remember seeing as their first A24 distributed film, their first Alex Garland movie, their first introduction to Alicia Vikander, their first introduction to Oscar Isaac before he kind of really took off.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie came out in 2015. I just feel like I kind of wanted it in my 10 for vibes,
Yeah.
Did you catch it when it was on IMAX? I can't remember.
No, I did not catch it, but yes, I to go on with what you're saying. I mean, this won an Oscar. It was nominated for 2 Oscars. I think this is a lot of people's first, A24. Okay, maybe these people are onto something here, and that. So I feel like this kind of has that vibe for a lot of people.
Okay, you want me to be honest with you and the listeners?
Yeah, I love it.
I just moved it to 10. So we got to move on because now it's,
okay.
it's now
All
part of my 10.
All right.
I can't really talk about it anymore. Okay. So my 15 now would be Moonlight. We've talked about Moonlight here on this show. I think Moonlight is an unequivocal masterpiece. I haven't revisited it in quite a while, so I can't really speak in depth. I definitely remember watching Moonlight being like, we need more of these people making movies, actors, like Barry Jenkins making this and then going on to make 2 live action Lion King movies is like maybe one of the worst things that ever happened to a director. So yeah, this movie is special. And I feel like a lot of people will be a little bit like kind of maybe mad that it is in 15, but I gotta be honest to myself.
So that's totally fair.
What did Trevante Rhodes go on to do? I mean, not much. He was in Bird Box, The Predator in 2018.
Oh yeah.
Candy Cane Lane in 2023. God, that's criminal. That's tough stuff for that guy. Holy cow. Okay. What's your 14? Your honorable mention. Let's be clear.
Honorable mention here. One of my favorite book adaptations. It is The Disaster Artist.
Whoa, I love this.
On the making of The Room. I love this movie. I feel like we're going to talk about a few people who are like canceled or whatever. And I know Franco falls under that, but I think he gave a really great performance as Tommy Wiseau. Great ensemble cast and just a funny movie overall.
This is amazing. I have it ranked at 2.5 stars right now on my, and I don't know if that's true. You know, I feel like this is a movie that I would need to revisit. I have it at 74 on my list, which feels incredibly low to your 14.
The thing that I wonder about is like, as someone who has seen The Room, you know, I was able to see it in London with Tommy Wiseau. I read The Disaster Artist like before this all came out. I feel like that must have contributed to how much I enjoyed this movie. I am curious about someone who like hasn't seen The Room, didn't read it, didn't like, this is probably just a really weird fucking film. So I understand 2.5 stars, but for me, it's my number 14. Yeah,
you know, I think I saw it a while ago, and I do think you have a special affinity with The Room. I don't quite have that affinity. My number 14 honorable mention is Hereditary, a movie that we don't really need to talk about much anymore. It is a horror stalwart, I think, a movie that apparently is not the best A24 horror movie according to you over on the Movie Draft podcast. So that's a take.
Number 3.
We'll just say this. Tune into the Movie Draft podcast in the next 6 weeks for some Ari Aster talk. Because we will be doing a really fun exercise. Hail Paimon, you know, I think this is arguably Alex Wolff's best performance. He's been in Oppenheimer. He's good in his 1 minute of Oppenheimer. He's been in some other cool movies, but like he's great in this movie. You know, I echo what everybody else has said. Should have won. Should have at least been nominated. Toni Collette
for sure. 100%.
What's your 13?
It's a film that was nominated and won quite a few Oscars. And honestly, even though it's at 13, it was maybe the hardest thing to cut off my top 10. It is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Whoa.
At number 13.
What? I was positive that was going to be in your 10. I was positive. You loved that movie. I remember you loving that movie.
I do. I love this movie so much. I've been afraid to revisit it because I loved it so much in the theater that I haven't watched it at home.
I am in the very same boat that you are in. The last time that I logged this movie, let me check. Oh, wow. Yeah. See, this is fascinating. March 30th, 2022, which was the weekend of its release. April 18th, couple of weeks later, 2022, revisited it in IMAX. December 26th, 2022. I have not revisited this movie in 2.5 years.
Yeah. That's essentially where I was coming from.
That's really fascinating. You're afraid that you're not going to like it as much.
Yeah, I don't think so. You know, like I think it looks like I watched it April 10th, 2022.
Okay.
And it does appear, I don't remember this, but I apparently did watch it in January of 2024. I don't know if that was like a re-release or something. Maybe it was at home, but I'm just like, I've just been afraid to revisit it, that it's just like not going to hold up. But
yeah,
I don't know. So I just didn't feel right putting it in my top 10.
Totally fair. Totally fair. I love the little googly eye we get on Letterboxd when you review this movie. It's great. I can't speak on that because we'll get to it in a little bit.
Okay.
Number 13 for me is a movie that you introduced me to, and my life has never been the same since. A movie that I was able to find an original pressing of the vinyl for, an original 1984 pressing. This would be Stop Making Sense. A24, of course, famously acquired the rights and the distribution rights to this movie a few years ago. Worked very hard to make a 4K restoration of it, and did an incredibly successful nationwide re-release of this movie, first in IMAX, then in rep theaters. I know that I'm one of the lucky, I think, 12 cities in America that get a monthly screening of Stop Making Sense, at least deemed by A24 to be allowed to happen. I've seen this movie a lot. I've seen parts of this movie a lot. I've logged this movie 5 times on Letterboxd.
Okay, nice.
It just doesn't get any better than David Byrne dancing with a lamp. I know this is honorable mentions, but like, goddamn, this movie's magic.
Here's the thing. I talked myself out of the eligibility of this movie because I wanted to save myself a spot in the top 10 because I knew this would probably be like number 2.
Sure.
And I was like, but I just kind of felt like, well, it's more of a re-release restoration, like not their thing. So but this would easily be an honorable mention at the very, like, it would definitely be in my top 10, but I made an excuse to give myself another slot in the 10 by saying it didn't qualify for me. So, but I love this movie. This movie's, it's perfect. I have a sketch of a lamp tattoo that I'm planning to get. Like, I love this so much. So great call.
Incredible stuff. I think a lot of people would argue like doesn't really fall into the A24 ranked category, but look, A24 distributed it in the United States. So, okay. Number 12 for you.
Speaking of movies that you love, I'm going to go with Uncut Gems here.
Wow. Number 12. That's substantially higher than I thought it would ever be.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Reviewed 3 times on Letterboxd, 4.5 stars. This movie's great. I love this movie. Sandler at the peak. Again, talking about people who should have been at least nominated at the very least. Like, he crushes this movie. So, Uncut Gems at 12. Yeah.
I've got it 4 times on Letterboxd. I have a tattoo of the Furby. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say. I can't speak on it. We'll give my 2 cents later. 12. My next honorable mention, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. This is a movie I've talked about pretty ad nauseum here on the pod. We've covered it here. I think no other movie has quite covered or quite tackled. This is kind of like a Lost in Translation situation for me, where I feel like Lost in Translation is a movie that is so hyper poignant about a very specific feeling and thing, whereas no other movie has quite done it the same. The Last Black Man in San Francisco is very similar in that idea of like, you're watching the city you grew up with change every single day. And, I think LCD Sound System put out a song, New York, I Love You. And that is essentially the mode of The Last Black Man in San Francisco, as well as like, life is getting worse here. And like, why is this happening? Obviously great thematic value on the gentrification of West Coast America and changing the specific like West Coast culture that is found in those types of cities. Gorgeous movie to look at. We could devolve into a whole pod about this movie right now. The elephant in the room is the unfortunate second lead is Jonathan Majors, who is an absolute piece of shit human being. But that aside, he's very good in this movie.
Yeah. We might talk about that later. Number 11 for me is, crazily enough, a 5-star film. In my review on Letterboxd, I said, I loved this movie so much, and I don't know if I can ever watch it again. After movies that make you cry this hard should be illegal.
Sure. It's one of 2 things.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's one of two movies.
Yeah, I mean, you'll know it is right when I say it, obviously, but this is a film that caused me to like delay our podcast recording for I don't know how long because I literally couldn't stop crying. Like this movie fucked me up so bad. But again, it's like I don't ever want to watch it again because like it's just gonna destroy me, I feel like. So it barely misses at 11, but this is Lucas Dawn's Close from 2022 about two 13-year-old boys and their friendship and how it gets disrupted and what happens from there. I think it's a beautiful film. I don't know. I love it. And I didn't have it in my top 10 because it was a perfect one-time watch. And I think that's just how it's going to live for the rest of my life. But I like this movie.
Yeah, I know you do. I didn't connect with it the way you did, and I'm sad because I love the way that you connected with it. 14 through 11 are all 5-star movies for me. So let's just like you mentioned that this is your first 5-star movie. That is the case that I'm working with here. My 11 is a movie that I just swapped out. Was at number 10, just moved. So this is Lady Bird. I haven't revisited this in quite a while, so I did feel a little bit of the pressure to be like, is it actually number 10? You know, Lady Bird is Lady Bird for all the reasons that everybody says all the time. It's an all-time Tracy Letts performance. Our boy Lucas Hedges operating at really great levels here. Beanie Feldstein being really funny. Like it's got all the parts. Love Lady Bird.
Who's on top for their first time? Like, some great lines in there. It's so good.
There really is. Yeah, this is, I think, like a pretty unanimous one of the best A24 movies ever situation.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is for sure. I'm with you on that.
Okay. With those honorable mentions out of the way, I think now would be a very good time at 27 minutes and 30 seconds into this pod to do our number 10. So, Ben, why don't you kick off the official top 10 A24 movies list with your number 10?
Coming in at number 10 is a film you just mentioned, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. I love this movie so much. I grew up in Sonoma County and spent every other weekend in San Francisco visiting my dad. So I have a very tight bond to like the city that this takes place in. And love the way it was captured on the film. Just some of the most beautiful cinematography, the most beautiful way I've seen San Francisco. There's great San Francisco films all over, but this to me, I think captured the city almost like in a romantic sense. But I think that's how our lead, Jimmy Fails, I think that's how he sees the city or sees this home, at least, just in a romantic way. Obviously, again, you mentioned Jonathan Majors, fuck him.
Yep.
But before that, he was so good in this. Like before we knew he was awful, we knew he was great in this movie. And I just love this film. So number 10, I went back and forth between this and Close, but I just needed this to be on here.
This, you mentioned how beautiful this movie is. Shot by Adam Newport Barra, who has, of course, done this film. He recently did Blink Twice, the Zoe Kravitz movie that I have not visited, unfortunately, but he does have a new movie coming out later this year, coming from Neon. I don't 100%. On August 22nd, this movie is called Splitsville. Stars Dakota Johnson, Adria Arjona, and Kyle Marvin and Nicholas Braun. That is about a family who basically asks for divorce, and then they actually open their marriage, and then things get worse. And I'm really excited for that movie.
Nice.
I know we briefly talked about Dakota Johnson with The Materialists, the brief 2 seconds that you gave of her performance in that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that movie. So it's cool seeing him, working on new things. Joe Talbot has just like not made anything, but I'm pretty sure he has a movie on the docket, if I recall correctly. Let's look. Joe Talbot, the director of The Last Black Man in San Francisco, he does have an upcoming movie called The Governesses.
Okay.
3 governesses ignite rebellion in their household to the delight of their employers. Also written by Joe Talbot, stars Lily Rose Depp, Hoyan, who I am unfamiliar with, and Renate Renzi. That's going to be a banger. Holy cow.
Joe Talbot finally coming back. I like
coming back. Joe Talbot. That feels good. Yeah. God, I love that movie. I can't not be consumed with Majors' monologue that he gives and he breaks down about what is happening and transpiring around his city and his friendship. And I think a really fascinating insight into a male friendship like that and what that means to each individual party and what it means to your identity and what it could really mean under the surface. So I think there's a lot there. Okay, my 10, briefly, we kind of talked about it, is Ex Machina. I moved this up out of the 14 spot and just put it at 10. Caught it on the rewatch when it was re-released in IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like there's so many moments of this movie that are so thrilling and so entertaining. An all-time end, in my opinion. And I've talked about it before here and other places, but I would argue this is Oscar Isaac at the top of his game, turning in a weird lead performance that we will never see from him again because he has been chewed up and spit out by the MCU machine and, of course, the A24 machine and all of the other movies that he now has to thank. Same with Alex Garland. I think, when editing comes out, we'll know more about where he's at, but most recently made Warfare. He's kind of gotten away from what he did in Ex Machina. And I think I talked about this when we re-reviewed this movie of like, this is perhaps the most concise Garland has been with his ideas of nature and tech and humanity all colliding. Love this movie. Don't know what else there is to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing movie. For me, it's like on the A24 pantheon. It's got to be up there. It's just like a classic A24 film. I'm glad it's on one of our lists,
Domhnall Gleeson really being eaten up by the Apple machine as of late, which is a fucking travesty. He's in 2 new Apple TV Plus movies, Echo Valley and Fountain of Youth, both which are quite poor. And he's got more things for Apple coming out, which stinks. He was really good in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, number 9.
Listen, we talked about it. We referenced it every single week.
Oh.
Spring Break forever, bitches. I got shorts in every fucking color. Alien, just one of my favorite characters out there. This is, to me, kind of a quintessential A24 film, like with the weirdness, with like the cast and the storyline. Obviously like Harmony Korine. There's just like, there's so much that goes into this film, and like it's sitting at like 2.8 on Letterboxd right now, which I love.
The curve for this movie is insane on Letterboxd.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. But I love it, and this is just like A24 doing their thing. Was this their second movie, right? I think. I
mean, this is 100% A24 core for sure. Let's look at their list of films.
I mean, it's 2012. Yeah. Like this is
So this is technically their second movie that they're ever released. Number 1, A Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III. Number 2, Harmony Korine's Spring Breakers.
Nice.
So that's crazy. We revisited this movie probably a while ago now, but I remember when we revisited, I was like, I get it now. Spring Breakers, really good.
It's crazy.
It just is. And notably, a Spring Breakers 2 is apparently in the works. Harmony Korine not attached to that project, I believe. So that'll be a complete and total disaster.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know where Spring Breakers is on my list. It's probably far too low. I'm still scrolling, which is a bad sign. Spring Breakers, where have you gone? It's more of a vibes thing,
Oh, for
where it's
sure.
just like in my heart, I love it more than where it's at. It's at 72. I love it more than that, but
That's the thing. Yeah, it's like for me, like I rated it 4 stars, but it's like it's a 5-star experience.
Right.
It's like a 4-star movie, and I think that's why I commented earlier on having some 5 stars in my honorable mentions. 'Cause I'm like, I'm putting better movies out of the top 10, but for me, Spring Breakers is more of my favorite of what A24 has done. So I want that to be in my top 10.
2 featured reviews on IMDb. One of them, they do a 10-star curve here. So one of them, 5 stars, an unpleasant nightmare. The other one, 8 stars, completely blindsided by this film. Don't know what either of those mean. Yep. Yeah, dude, this movie is crazy. I'm just looking through this will never not be really funny to me. We'll move on, but like, what's his name? Oh, Gucci Mane as Archie. Damn, baby, feel like you're playing piano on my dick like you're playing Mozart. It's like,
it's so good.
Who the fuck writes that stuff, man? That's incredible content. It's incredible. 100% a movie that you either get it or you don't.
Sure.
And I feel like we get it here. Number 9, for me, a 5-star movie. We are in strictly 5-star territory for me right now moving forward. A 5-star movie that I actually just purchased a ticket to see for the very first time on the big screen at my local rep theater here in a few weeks. A movie that I recently revisited and was shown the light of, I guess you could say, God, shown the light of the impending doom of natural disaster, the light of Paul Schrader's intricacies, I guess is probably the best and most socially acceptable way to put that. This is First Reformed. Ethan Hawke's arguably best performance in anything that he's given. A movie that is 100% a horror film, regardless of what other people seem to think. This was nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay in 2019. Of course, about, Ethan Hawke plays a pastor who essentially his life begins to spiral out of control with his encounter of an unstable environmental activist and his pregnant wife, played by Amanda Seyfried. One of the very core, and I know we kind of talked about this, I feel like, on recent episodes, but like A24 genre type things to happen in a movie. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it, but like what transpires at the end of this movie is like an ultimate what the fuck is real kind of moment. Somebody has to do something. I use that meme all the time. Mm-hmm. This is just a truly encapsulating movie, in my opinion.
It's a really good movie, and it's a fantastic last 10 minutes.
It is. Yep.
It's just so good. It's one of the good films that really sticks the landing. So many times, the last part of a film is kind of went off the rails, but other than that, it was fine. This to me is the opposite of that, where it's just it's a good movie, but the final scenes, it's amazing.
I mean, an aging man that is troubled and in crisis is not a new narrative to film. It's been around for 80 years, right? I think First Reformed is the pinnacle of that kind of outside of the standard structure. It presents itself in such an interesting way that you might not think of this to be that. Famously a scene in here where he pours himself a drink and is writing in his journal, and things just physically go off the rails, and it's it's pretty startling to watch this movie. A movie that every time I think about it, I'm like, maybe I should rewatch that tonight. It has that power to it that just makes you feel good. I'm really excited to see this in a theater. I don't know when it's playing. I have to look and figure out this schedule. I can't remember, but I check the schedule of my rep theater every day because I'm just what are they going to program this time that I need a ticket to? And it was in fact First Reformed, and I can't find it. Oh, August 24th. So I got a ways to go. I got 7 weeks, but we'll get
something to look forward to. Yeah,
part of their Sin Sunday program.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Okay, so that was my 9. What is your 8?
We're gonna jump from one horror film to another. Okay. I have a few on my list, and this is the first one, and I'll just say, Nazi punks, fuck off. We're going with Green Room here at number 8. just like my favorite Patrick Stewart performance. He's so good as this like Nazi leader dude, super intimidating, super scary. Great cast. I feel like Anton Yelchin, Imogen Poots, Aaliyah Shawkat, Callum Turner. Like there's
Callum
so
Turner in this movie is wild to me.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. This movie, great. Again, it's like it's a 5-star experience for me, and this is just like one of my favorite horrors that A24 has put out. So I had to get it on my list. I mean, what's better than like you're trapped in a room in this building with Nazis and you have to get out? Like, great. I'm sold. Show me the movie. Let's go. So I'm into it.
Yeah, this is a movie I really want to revisit because I have it at 3.5 stars. Like, I think it's perfectly a good movie. Just not something that is towards the top of my list. But I wonder if revisiting it would make it so. I think it's a little bit of an abrasive watch the first time you see it, and I think that's what happened to me. I was like, wow, there's a lot of energy in this movie that I wasn't ready for. But yes, this is a great shout. I think Green Room kind of coming back into the social consciousness, of course, obviously because of things that are happening in the world, but like, an important movie nonetheless. Okay, my 8 is a movie that we briefly talked about earlier. This is Everything Everywhere All at Once. I have a tattoo of The Rock. I love this movie. You know, it's us bitches who make the world go round. I think this is such a fascinating movie to revisit a few years later because it is ultimately the pinnacle of this is a good movie when you don't have a bitch in your ear telling you it's not. Like, it is 100% that kind of movie. When film Twitter got a hold of this, it deteriorated very quickly. I think notably won lots of Academy Awards. Whether or not Jamie Lee Curtis should have won is, doesn't sit right with me. I don't think she should have won. But of course, you can't underestimate the Academy sway and it happened with Poor Things, right? Poor Things wins in an under the line category, and oh my God, it's happening. Like, we're moving in that direction. Emma Stone goes on to win Best Actress. Of course, this happened here as well with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think a really great movie that talks about a lot of cool things in a really, really cool way. And I'm excited to see what the Daniels do next. They were notably, let's see. What did they do? Did they direct an episode of The Acolyte? Am I remembering that correctly?
They did something. Yeah, they did one of the.
They did Skeleton Crew. They did Skeleton Crew. That was the Star Wars that they signed up for. They have an untitled Daniels/Universal event film slated for 2026. There's no plot info or anything on IMDb. That's interesting to take the A24 cachet and jump to the Universal cachet, which is very big on their event films. Like, they do not mess around with their Oppenheimers and the Odysseys. So yeah, I still think this movie is a very perfect movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think for my money, Stephanie Sue should have won, but it was great to see Michelle Yeoh make this film. The resurgence of Ke Huy Quan, which was awesome as well. So yeah, and then the world, I think, got to see the Daniels because not all of us caught Swiss Army Man, Right. So I think it was good to get them out there. So, I mean,
nominated for 11 Academy Awards is fucking crazy. It's really kind of insane. I did want to posit a question before you get to your number 7. I wonder if we're going to have any movies that match. That's all.
Spots. Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm very curious. Okay. What's your 7?
Talk to Me. Number 7.
I had a feeling this would be on your list.
Back-to-back horrors with this in Green Room, but Bring Her Back didn't quite hit in the same way. But Talk to Me, man. I mean, it's hard to see, but up there, I've got The Hand on my bookcase. So, I think that's one thing that we called early on. It was like, they've got to make that, and they did. So, this is. For me, this is really, really interesting because this is my third 4-star movie in a row, but it's just like a 5-star experience. Like, when I think about A24, I'm like, yeah, this is what I want on my list. So, I mean, great movie. Obviously, about conjuring spirits when you shake hands with it and say, talk to me. One of my favorite needle drops maybe ever. Like it's just so good. That party scene is fantastic.
Le Monde is an incredible song.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But then just like the actual violence and stuff, like the head bashing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Chewing on the knife and bring her back was one thing, but this film had more grotesque, like shocking things in it. So wonderful performance by Sophie Wilde. Yeah, I love this movie. So got it at 7.
Yeah. I had a feeling it would be on your list. I really like this movie. I think it's interesting that you not only doubled up on horror, but we went from one directing duo to another directing duo in the Flippy Brothers.
Yeah.
Talk to Me, the sequel, is slated at A24. Will they explore more of that demon soul realm? I hope so. I think that is one of the strongest parts of Talk to Me. A movie that I think fell flat at the end for me personally, but I'm really think like they hit a lot of that movie out of the park and really understood the assignment on a lot of that. Okay. My number 7, also a horror movie.
Okay.
A movie that I feel like maybe should be higher. And this is interesting moving from 7 onwards because my 6 to 2 all have a little bit of the recency bias going on, which is fascinating. But my number 7 is Midsommar, a movie we've talked about ad nauseum here on the pod. We've covered it twice. We've talked about it over on the Movie Draft podcast. I just had a conversation with somebody at work this afternoon about Midsommar, somebody who had hand painted a Florence Pugh May Queen purse, and she was wearing it. And I was like, please let me take a picture of that. It is phenomenal. Perfect horror movie. Potentially Ari Aster's best. Again, I'll plug. We're going to be talking about Ari Aster on the Movie Draft podcast in a few weeks, but there is no moment of this movie where I'm not completely entranced with the downright horror of not only cults and how beautiful Sweden is, but like terrible boyfriends. And that to me is one of the magic marker moments of this movie is like, yes, it is about all the crazy cultish things that are going on. And that is like some of the most startling visuals that you can get out of this movie. But like the real crazy thing is the first 25 minutes where the boyfriend is just like an absolute piece of shit. And that's the real scary stuff. So I don't know how you could ever do that to Florence Pugh, you know? Crazy things, crazy times, crazy movie.
Yeah, Jack Reynor is great in this movie. And we might talk about it later. So I'll just hold off on my thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. What is Jack Reynor? He was in something recently where it's like, Jack Reynor sighting.
He's great in Sing Street. If anyone wants a good movie, watch Sing Street.
I haven't seen Sing Street. We talked about Free Fire here in the show with Brian Starr. And he was in Free Fire. I don't really know that he has a lot coming out, which is like kind of unfortunate. I think he's a pretty good actor. Yeah. I wonder if he got market corrected a little bit by people like Aaron Taylor Johnson and Tom Hardy and some of the big names that are kind of doing what he's doing. He has 3 movies. Apparently he's going to be in the next season of Citadel, a show that I heard was just abysmal. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Okay. So that's happening, which is interesting. And then a movie called Power Ballad, directed by John Carney, a music-driven story about a wedding singer, a rock star, and the song that comes between them. Speaking of Sing Street. Yeah. Interesting. Really, really fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put Jack Reynor in more things. Number 6, Ben.
Number 6, a movie that I believe is a directorial debut, and that was the first film I watched in 2020. It's also the last time I vlogged. It was January 1st, 2020.
First movie of the year.
First movie of the year for Lulu Wang's The Farewell.
Very
Awkwafina's
nice.
Performance in here, I think, is wonderful. I know she can be really divisive to people. Like, she's really hit or miss, but I think she does a wonderful job here. Great movie about grandma with a terminal illness, where the family stages a wedding so that all the family can get together, but they don't tell the grandma about her illness. And then it's Aquafina's character kind of like struggling with like, well, why aren't we telling her? We should let her know, all that kind of stuff. But great family dynamics, a lot of just like quiet moments in this film, which I think are wonderful. And yeah, I don't know. I love this movie. I think Farewell is great. I need to rewatch it. It was one of the weirdest ones to put on my list because I'm like, I know I love this movie. Why haven't I watched it recently? And I feel like this is moving its way up my queue of just like, I need to revisit this.
Yeah. I haven't revisited it since we covered it here on this show. A movie that I like perfectly fine and I think is effective for sure. Isn't there like a karaoke moment in this movie as well? Am I thinking correctly? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
This is, I would argue it would be interesting and a great exercise to do like the 10 most underrated A24 movies. Cause I feel like this could very possibly make that list. Yeah, good movie. Okay. So The Farewell at number 6 for you. Number 6 for me, a movie that we have not gotten the chance to speak about here in the show. A movie that I've talked about in lots of other places, on lots of other podcasts and video formats. A movie that I don't know. I actually don't think you've logged. And I actually don't think you've seen it.
Okay.
The Brutalist.
Did I not log it?
Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. So I did click on the More button on Letterboxd. I love your review of this. Is so funny. 5-star first half, 2-star second half, 3.5-star rating. I love you, Guy Pearce.
Yeah. Seems accurate.
I strongly disagree with all of that. I think the whole thing is a fucking masterpiece that is maybe not deeply, but is like definitely flawed as part of its second half design. And I think that is part of the themes that are at play here. I think that Adrian Brody winning an Academy Award for this was the right thing. And I think that will in turn be beneficial to Timothée Chalamet's career. I think that whole happenstance is interesting. I did get the chance to talk to Brady Corbet about this movie, and he just continued to praise all the people that poured long, hard hours into this film. And I feel like you can really see it. I listened to the score with my kids in the car, and they know the song at the very end of this movie, One for You, One for Me. They obviously don't understand the context of the film, which really fucks up the song, but they think it's a bop. So I think that's pretty exciting. A movie that is like, doesn't demand rewatches very often, right? It's like 3 hours. But a movie I've seen 4 times. I own the collector's version of. I would love to pop it in again soon and see how it plays at home. That would be an interesting thing to do.
It really would. I wish you all the luck in the world with that.
I mean, I've seen this movie. I saw it at TIFF on 35 millimeter. Might have been 70 millimeter, but I saw it on film. No, I think it was I think I saw it at TIFF on 70 millimeter. I've seen it in Portland on 35 millimeter, and I've seen it digitally on IMAX twice. So I've kind of seen all of the things of this movie. That would be, a great experience. Of course, renowned Brutalist supporter Sophie Holsinger will be over on the Movie Draft Pod in a couple of weeks. Check it out. Maybe we'll talk about the Brutalist. Who's to say?
Dude, I'm getting scared. We don't need to bring this up at all. So.
Who's to say?
Who is to say?
I don't know, but man, looking at Laszlo Toth smoking a cigarette, looking at sparks flying, fucking just does things to me, man. Okay. What's your number 5? We're entering 5 territory here.
We are top 5 here. I think my picks get maybe a little more traditional to some extent, but again, another directorial debut, I believe, and I believe partners with Lulu Wang. It's Barry Jenkins' Moonlight at number 5 for me. Just like amazing film. The 3-act structure used in such a creative and wonderful way here. All telling a different story, but all like obviously together, just beautifully shot. To me, like the scene of like Mahershala with the kid, like in the water, like that's that's Laszlo watching the sparks. You know what I mean? Like that's the scene for me. Where I'm just like, fuck, that shot's like perfect. So, yeah, it's just a great finding your identity story. And I just think it's told in a very unique and beautiful fashion.
Yeah. Arguably one of the most important movies in A24's catalog, not only from like an artistic perspective, but also from an Academy perspective, a pop culture perspective, a movie that really put them on the map. Movie obviously touted in Academy mistrial and malpractice, but a movie that rightfully won Best Picture. I can say that as a La La Land truther. Moonlight was the right pick. Yeah, really good. I'd love to revisit that soon. I think that would be really exciting. Number 5 for me, a movie that, again, I guess is maybe not like traditional, but is falling a little bit more in the vein of some of their newer things. A movie that I did catch at a festival at South by Southwest. I got the chance to hear the cast speak about this movie and some of the ins and outs of how this movie was made. This is Greg Quadar's Sing Sing, a movie that famously had an incredibly botched release schedule that really fucked up its Academy Award prospects.
Just wild.
A couple of years ago, and I don't quite understand why A24 did that. A thing we've talked about many times here on the show in the past. A 5-star, completely obliterating watch for me. Also about finding your identity, finding out who you are within a system, outside of a system, what that means to your future and how much you should invest in that. I think equally interesting is all of the backstory that went into this movie and how they shot it with real inmates at a real prison on such a short time. Everybody was equally paid. It was such a fascinating production story. And so I really recognize it for that. I think if A24 had not totally bungled the release of this, Clarence Macklin would have been a strong contender for Best Supporting Actor in the Academy Awards that year. But the scene, particularly of them kind of montaging and practicing their play, really is just emotionally affecting. A great movie.
Yeah, super good movie. I enjoyed that quite a bit, and I agree with you. It's just another example of A24 kind of botching their release and how it affects
crazy
everything else. But yeah, I think this is a great pick. I love Sing Sing.
Yeah. What's your number 4?
Number 4, we're going to be talking about the Von Erich brothers. Talking about the Iron Claw.
This is 16 for me. Just 16. Outside. This is 100% in line with the things that you have said about some of your honorable mentions, where it's like, I saw that once and that totally decimated me, and I will not be rewatching that movie. That is where I'm at with this.
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't revisited it either for those same reasons. But, you know, one of the saddest, most heartfelt, like, last lines in a movie. It's crazy that this is a film that is so sad and it isn't even as sad as the real life story. Like they left stuff out, which is kind of crazy to think about. But a great cast. Again, we can continually talk about people who should have been nominated. I will ride for Zac Efron. I think he should have been at least nominated. I don't think he should have won, but he should have been up there. But great cast: Harris Dickinson, Jeremy Allen White, Holt McElhenney, Maura Tierney as well, Lily James, like just so good. So, yeah, great movie about the Von Erich brothers and like the early wrestling days. So, love it.
The continual takeaway that I get every time that I think about this movie is the incredible decision to make the first time that you see Zac Efron not be Zac Efron, but be his jacked bicep and rest of his body in bed before you ever see his face, which I think is a phenomenal decision.
Dude.
The triumvirate of lead, quote unquote, lead actors in this, Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Harris Dickinson, I think all did phenomenal things to their careers at the right times in their careers. Especially Jeremy Allen White, who is now going on to play Springsteen in a Springsteen movie biopic that to me looks abhorrent, but I'm sure will make a ton of money at the box office. Lily James is so good in this movie. I just watched Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, like a few days ago. Boy, she's great. Really, yeah, a great movie that just for me hits too close to home. Just hits too close to home with some of the things. So I will not be revisiting it, but I think it is a wonderful film. My number 4, probably the most divisive on this list, and one that I don't foresee you really having a lot to say about.
Okay. Right.
This is I Saw the TV Glow. Not sure if you're aware, it is a trans allegory. I don't know if you knew that.
It's the first time hearing of this.
First time. I know this first time to hear about that thematic through line of the film. I ordered the VHS from A24 and then I moved, so it got lost in the mail, and I reordered it, and they helped me out so generously and graciously. But that is like, you know, I love this movie. I have the collectors. I have some really cool stuff that goes along with it. We talked about it here on the show many, many times. A movie that I genuinely enjoy rewatching, that I think I take away a lot of different things from this movie than a lot of other people take away. And I think that's kind of what makes this movie work so well for me. And I do appreciate, you know, what, regardless of what other people think, I do appreciate all of the visuals, no matter how clear and perhaps overt they might be. I think they're beautiful, and Justice Smith is excellent in this movie. Also in Sharper, a movie that I don't think is making either of our top 10 lists.
No, if we were doing dance scenes, it'd be up there with Ex Machina for sure.
It would be up there. Connor O'Malley, notably in this scene, in this movie as well, which is fucking hysterical to me. Also sad. You know, I think very in line with the Iron Claw, like you just mentioned. An obliterating final 90 seconds that just takes everything you watch. I remember when I saw this movie in theaters, these two guys came into the movie late, probably 15 minutes late. And at that point, just abandoned the movie. Like, don't fucking show up because you're not going to know what's going on.
Yeah.
They showed up. They were chatty the whole time. Not chatty enough, but like chatty, I could tell. The whole movie. The movie ends. I Saw the TV Glow ends famously like kind of just cuts, right? Like you're with Justice Smith's character. He is dreading his life that he has kind of built for himself. And it just kind of ends. And the first thing out of their mouth was, well, that movie stunk. And I was like, fair. Okay. I know people that don't like it, but like you also showed up late and you also like can't take 4 seconds to judge a movie like I Saw the TV Glow. So I think this movie is phenomenal.
Wonderful. I'm not gonna like disparage it. I'm glad you liked it. That's fantastic. Yeah.
No, I know. Okay, we've made it to our top 3s.
I literally just switched my 2 and 3.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
Live in real time.
It's happening, folks. We'll do it live.
Okay. What is your number 3 now?
I mean, I feel like it's an A24 thing, but so many directorial debuts I think are on my list. And
very high potential. We could share the same number 3 here. I have a directorial debut for both 2 and 3.
Same here.
This would be interesting.
And either we match or I just flipped them, and now we don't match. But at number 3, I'm going to be doing Charlotte Wells' After Sun.
You fucked it up. God damn it, Ben. We could have had a same 3 and 2.
We could have had it. What
could have been? Okay. After Sun at 3 for you.
I don't know. We're dealing with perfect films now. We're in our top 3. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting like teary eyed just thinking about this movie. This movie fucks me up so bad in the best way. That final scene, like of the dancing down the hall, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what to say about it. Like, if you haven't seen it and somehow you're listening to this, like, please go watch this movie, because the thing I remember most about this movie was talking to you after you saw it. And you're like, yeah, I like this better than Everything Everywhere. And I was like, what? You know, because like we were both so high on that movie. And I was like, what are you talking about? You like something more than that. Like, I couldn't fathom it. And again, we've told this story so many times. I'm not going to like go on it over and over, but this is a movie that hit me the next day. I watched it. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then the next day, like really just like, oh, fuck. All my feelings are showing up now and I'm at work. This sucks. But this is just such a beautiful film about a daughter and a father on a vacation together. And you know, it's all kind of told through this interesting flashback. But man, it's just so well done. I don't know. This movie's perfect, dude. I assume this is your number 2.
So this is my number 2. Yeah. So this is my number 2. So I guess I'll kind of, I feel like it's more fair to maybe continue the conversation, but you can know that it's my number 2 because we'll kind of swap here because my number 3 is your number 2.
Probably number 2. Yeah.
Probably. So yeah, I saw this movie. It first came to Portland in November of 2022. This was, of course, notably during the season when A24 was still making very weird distribution choices. And like it would hit LA, New York. A week later, it would hit Portland, Chicago, Austin. A week later, it would hit Salt Lake and a couple other places. And then it would see a national rollout the week after, right? So I saw this on November 13th, 2022. Automatic 5 stars. Saw it at the living room theater. I know exactly what seat I was in. I remember exactly what the theater looks like. One of the very few experiences in a cinema where I'm just like, I know exactly what that was and what I felt. And I remember telling you that I truly loved this movie. I then proceeded to see it again 3 days later because I was like, I have to revisit. I have to know that this wasn't just a one-time fluke. It wasn't a one-time thing. It in fact wasn't. And then I watched it again in December of 2022. So I haven't revisited it in about 2.5 years. But it is unbelievable what was able to be achieved. And, you know, speaking as the father of a daughter, that feels very much like Paul Mescal's character. This movie strikes a grief and a worry into me that no other film could ever manage to do. Because what if I fuck it up? You know, what if I turn out like that? Like I wasn't supposed to make it to 30, right? Or I wasn't supposed to make it to 31, kind of a situation. So, Frankie Corio needs to be in more things. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Not putting her in stuff. But visuals of this movie are perfect. I love the device that this is told through of the kind of the camera and using that as our scope into their world.
I think about her describing depression all the time.
Yeah.
Like she's like, your bones don't work. They're just tired and everything is tired. Like you're sinking. Like, yeah, man. Like I get it 100%. And it's just like, it's just so powerful. And that scene, watching him come to realization with it, like, oh shit, like I've passed this along or whatever. It's just like, oh dude, it's so good.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Okay. Yeah. If we keep talking about After Sun, I'm just gonna end up crying.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me, another directorial debut. I would perhaps assume this is your number 2. This is a movie that is just really special. You know, I think a movie that is special in a lot of people's hearts. This is Celine Song's Past Lives. Oh. Undoubtedly, I think took the idea that the Before trilogy had set forth in the late 90s of the walk and talk, and kind of elevated it to this new level that fuses the narrative structure of a love triangle that has been around in cinema for 70 years. And of course, the general public is just now identifying a lot of this because of Challengers and other movies that are coming out. But not a new idea, but it tackles it in such a nuanced way that makes it not neat and not easy. And like, you get to the final moments of this movie and you're like, you feel like Greta Lee's character of like, was that the right thing? Did we do the right thing? Like we just spent the last 100 minutes deciding what kind of life I want. And I still don't know if I made the right decision. John Magaro fucking should have been nominated for this movie. I don't think he was nominated, right?
No. Our divine sad boy.
God, our divine sad boy, an absolute travesty. I think Past Lives won best. No. Oh, right. It did not win. It was nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah.
and for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. What ended up winning screenplay that year? Oh, wow. Yeah, that was an interesting year, of course. Anatomy of a Fall, Holdovers, Poor Things, Killers. That was pretty crazy. Anatomy of a Fall ended up winning Best Original Screenplay, which hard to argue with.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Like that's should have won, but damn.
It's just that you make my life so much bigger, and I'm wondering if I do the same thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's what a fucking delivery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so good. It's just like some of the most romantic, beautiful dialogue. I don't know. I just, this movie is perfect. Greta Lee was fantastic. Like, she gives a fucking great performance. Obviously, we talked about Magaro. Teo Yu, he's
Teo Yu is phenomenal in this movie.
So good. But the way it's told, even through going through them being on Skype or whatever, it's just brought back all these kind of oh fuck, I remember that time. That's crazy that this is that time, and how this is all connecting. But a lot told through silence in this movie, so much. Obviously, that final scene, is one of the many parts, but it's just yeah, I don't know. Celine Song fucking crushed it. So good. So good.
I think what gets glanced over a lot in this movie is the opening 3 minutes where we slowly press in on Greta Lee's character in the bar.
Yeah.
And of course we come back to that sequence later, but she stares at us and makes eye contact as to say, what is transpiring right now? I don't know. I don't know what to do, and I don't know a way forward, and I don't know how I feel. So yeah, I didn't know liking your husband would hurt this much. That's tough. Okay, so we've done our 2s and 3s. Of course, my 2 is Aftersun. We talked about that. So now we're on to number 1. What is your number 1? Your very favorite A24 movie?
It's the movie that makes me feel held, Denny. It's Midsommar. Number 1, just hands down.
I love this so much. I think this is so based that you had this number 1, dude. It's so fucking cool.
Dude, I love this movie. I was smiling the whole time I watched it in the theater. So oh, this is fantastic. This is daytime Hereditary, and I like this. This is what I wanted. Religious trauma and cults and all that. Florence Pugh just fucking destroying this performance. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about this, for people who haven't seen it, but it's just, again, Will Poulter, William Jackson Harper, we get a great ensemble cast here too, and just
a loaded movie of that guys.
Yeah, for sure. Tons of modern day that guys.
Yep.
And the ending, again, we've been talking about a lot of endings, but the tears to that little hint of a smile cut to black,
so fucked.
So good. Yeah, favorite A24.
It gets me every time that I watch this movie. I've seen it many times, but it gets me every single time when Christian, Jack Rayner's character, drinks the drink and he doesn't put together that is menstrual blood.
Yeah.
And it's very clear to us as the viewer because it's spoken about, and we know exactly what Maha, I believe is her character's name, does. Her long flowing orange hair against the white dress and the natural beauty of Sweden is so seductive. It is so seductive. It is so sensory, and it really does place you in Christian's shoes of I guess if they invite me to an orgy, I shall go. That's what they want, and I guess I can't say no.
It'd be rude to turn it down.
It'd be rude to turn it down, which is fucking crazy. I wrote in my review one line: "Do you feel held? Do you feel held, Danny?" And this is a continual thing that gets brought up, not only thematically but verbally many times by Pele, who has some really interesting undertones into his character of is he trying to snake Danny? Is he just trying to get to her to get her off of Christian? Is he trying to silo her? Does he really have any feelings? Like all of that. The last thing I'll say about Midsommar, I think you could make the argument, the very clear argument. This is one of the very best movie transitions of all time. From the bathroom in the apartment to the bathroom in the airplane. Complete lights out moment that changes the tone of the narrative, the pace of the narrative. It is truly Ari Aster just flexing and being like, I'm a pretty fucking good filmmaker.
Yeah. 100%.
In his second movie, which is crazy.
It's nuts. Some of the best visual representation of what it's like to be on certain drugs.
Okay.
You know, with things kind of just like
speaking from experience, I'm sure.
Yeah. This is what I've heard from other people.
Right. All conjecture.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Midsommar, number 1.
Okay. Midsommar, a movie that we might be talking about soon over on the Movie Draft podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Quite possibly.
Maybe. It's quite possible. We'll see. My number 1 should come as no surprise to you or anybody else that has ever listened to this podcast or followed me on social media for any amount of time. It is Uncut Gems. Why the fuck would you show me something if I can't have it? Let's bet on this shit. Holy shit, I'm going to come.
That's how I win.
This is how I win. I disagree. Like, I just don't, I don't know. I could just keep going if we want to keep going.
I disagree is one of my favorite gifts to use on Twitter. I love it so much.
It is so good. It is just, and to me, like, the reason this is number 1 ultimately and outright is because I have such a special place for this movie in my heart. This, along with Joker, these were like the 2 movies that set me off on this movie path, where it's just like, wow, I watched that and I like felt something, and I would love to watch more movies. And so this kind of being that movie for me is really ultimately pretty fucked up, because it's like, who watches Uncut Gems is like one of their first real movies ever. Not anybody smart. Complete and totally acceptable weekend slander in this movie. Who the fuck's that guy? Which is great. And, you know, in that sequence in particular is like the very first time we see Julia Fox. We kind of get an idea of Howie's lifestyle and how she's up all night, and, you know, she's like, come here, Howie, just like cuddle with me, baby. And really puts you in the shoes of Howie. The only movie we ever did a watch along for here on this pod.
Yeah.
Notably, episode 106, we did a total watch along, and then this was our first ever episode of the pod as well. Nice. Back when we were innocent little podcasters and tried to keep it to 24 minutes. Did not happen. So Uncut Gems, you know, let's bet on this shit. It's just, it's so good.
So good.
Yeah. Don't lean on the glass, KG. Don't lean on the glass. Told him not to lean on the glass. God.
Again, memorable endings. Like,
memorable endings.
Like, it's here.
Yeah. Black Jew power. It's a complete out of the park performance from Lakeith as well. Lakeith Stanfield, who has unfortunately kind of not made things as of late. And I don't really know why, but he needs to get back out here.
I think we've had some solid lists here.
Oh, I guess he's in Die My Love, which is Lynn Ramsey's new movie, of course, that premiered at Cannes to great aplomb. That movie picked up and is doing a national distribution in November.
Nice.
That's fascinating. That's really interesting. So we've done it. We've completed the exercise here. The top 10 kind of A24 movies of all time. Movies that we love, that we finally got the chance to speak on in great depth. A really great list, Ben. This has been a joy.
For both of us, yeah. I think it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Dug it.
Yeah, it's really fun. And, you know, if you want to follow our journey along, you can do so over on the Movie Draft podcast. Mm-hmm. You can also do so over at Unsung Gems when that comes to fruition and when that sees the light of day. I guess, do you have any final thoughts? I mean, this is it. Speak of memorable endings, you know, it's been a through theme here of the show today.
I'm sad it's coming to an end because I was ready to fire up Bo's afraid for the watch along next week.
Fuck off. No, you are not. You absolutely, you liar.
Unfortunately, it's coming to an end. So that's not going to happen. I was looking forward to it.
You can do it of your own accord. You don't have to do it because of the pod. You can just be like, hey, it's a Tuesday night. Let's fire it. But was afraid.
Is it one of the best films of the 21st century? We'll see if that makes it. I would give this pod a A+24. I had a wonderful time here. I'm so thankful for everyone that has interacted with us and chatted with us. Like this has been so much fun. I know it's been tapering off, here towards the end, but this is still just the best. I loved it. I had a great time.
It was the best. It brought us together, tore us apart at times, and then brought us back together.
Here we are.
Who would have thought? Look at us. I loved all of our non-agreement episodes. I think those stirred some of the very best conversation of A24. A movie distributor and studio that is not going anywhere anytime soon. And I think has cemented their place in the movie culture, at least of the mid 2020s. Ben, it's been great. There will be no next time on the pod. So yeah, I have no more words. Follow us on the Movie Draft Podcast. Like we've said this entire episode, like that is ultimately where a lot of our energy is going to be poured into from here on out. We will both be on that show. I'm on every single episode. You're going to be on a lot of episodes upcoming. If you haven't checked it out, highly recommend. And
we've done some like A24 specific drafts, so
we have.
Content still lives. It's out there. So, and this will still be around. So, let us know, like, what'd you think of our lists? We are on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll continue to watch the channel and the feed and everything. So hit us up. But yeah, go join us over at the Movie Draft Podcast. We would really appreciate that. And stay tuned also for Unsung Gems. And I'm sure we're going to have Ethan on quite a bit. So come hang out with us over there. But subscribe to us on YouTube. You can see us talk about this stuff. It's kind of weird going out asking you guys to do anything, but for real, thank you everybody for watching, listening, commenting, just like being here with us. Obviously, we'd probably do it if it was just the two of us, but it's so nice to have other people interacting and hanging out with us. It makes it so much more fun. So thank you, everyone. I am Ben Lawhorn.
And I am Ethan Simi. And one final time, spring break forever, bitches.